The Reno-Sparks Indian Colony Archives is a unique site in northern Nevada that is a repository for tribal records, photographs, and art objects.
In 1992, the Reno-Sparks Indian Colony, by a tribal resolution of our tribal council, established archives and records management program with the tribe. And we also, in 1992, recognized the need for preserving our records, our history, our important documents, and we decided to put emphasis on storing records and training our employees how to preserve records and to dispose of records. We found out in 1992, in those early years, that records management wasn't just pertaining to documents. You know, it also encompassed our history of our tribe, some of the photographs, some of the artifacts, some of our traditions, some of our baskets, some of the native paintings and different things which signify who we are as far as our culture. So in preserving records, we also see the importance of preserving the history of the tribe and trying to collect some of these things that the tribal members have produced or made, you know, which are part of our history. So it's very important to, you know, that there's an expansion of our program here, and to look at that it broadens our scope of what records and archives really is. Our records and management program and our archives program received a grant from the state of Nevada to help with preserving photographs. You know, we recognized that there were a lot of families that had old photographs since from the early days, the early years, and we wanted to somehow get a copy or to get the original or to house them for people if they felt it would be safe here to do so. And so we initiated a program of displaying old photographs, you know, in a presentation or a show, so that people could see some of these photographs and then become part of the program of actually donating photographs, or at some point even compensating them for copies or the negatives or whatever. And we do have some that are housed in our archives and records office here that people have allowed us to keep for them, you know. So I think it's a good program, and we're still building that photographs, and we're learning also how to preserve photographs, you know, to make sure that we use the modern day techniques so that they'll last and that they won't deteriorate, and we can the same with our records, so that we can preserve them. One of the issues as far as training to our employees within the tribe is what should we keep, you know, and what should we file, and what should we throw away or dispose of at a certain period of time, and what records should be kept, you know, into the archives to be preserved for a long period of time or forever. It's all about being a little more organized and being able to retrieve the records in a timely manner, and so that you can go to your own file cabinet, or you can come here and find photographs or records, you know, that when you need them. Records management and archives are so important because they're part of self-determination of Indian tribes, you know, and what I mean by that is a long time ago Indian tribes basically sent their records, or let the Bureau of Indian Affairs handle their records, and then they basically did the work for us, and they sent the records either to some of the regional archival repository places, or where they're stored, even all the way to Washington, D.C. And so with self-determination coming into line, I think this whole idea of of being able to take control of your own records and to store them and to have access to them when you want is in line with that whole concept of self-determination. And so I think we're beginning to do that, and I think we're just at the beginning stages, but I think you're going to see Indian tribes in general starting to see the importance of archives and records management as far as self-determination and sovereignty. So it is an important issue to tribes. Sometimes we criticize the past, because we don't know exactly what the times were like back then. So I always think, well, maybe we don't know everything about what they were going through or the hindrances or the roadblocks that prevented them from doing a certain thing. So I think it's important to think of it a little more broadly when we're talking about history or record keeping. We archive the native Nevadan here at the Reno-Sparks Indian Colony, and we have the majority of those issues of those native Nevadan, which were in color, in the later years. So, we look at it as a prized possession at this point because it documents the history of the Nevada tribes. Had we had thought about this a little clearer in 1992, we may have kept it going, even though for business purposes it was not a profit-making newspaper. I think the most important thing is we're creating history ourselves. Some people look at the painters of the past, that's what we're looking for, but I kind of see the vision of 50 years into the future, that the Jack Malotts and the Robert Bakers and some of these basket makers here on the reservation will become well-known artists in the future, and then we'll be trying to get those paintings 50 years from now. And I'm saying, well, if you can recognize that they're going to be great artists, and we know they are right now, how much more valuable will their things be 50 years from now? So why not have the proactive vision right now and collect some of that stuff from them right now, And so I think that's why we're trying to incorporate gaining back or buying or purchasing or getting a donation to some of their items, into our libraries or our archives. So I think it's important. People keep things that really are unnecessary after you learn a little bit about records management, and there are other important things to keep, So I think if you just go to the first step and get started with just keeping your little file, start it and expand on it, I think you'll find it's not only exciting about doing that, but it makes you feel better, and it takes away your frustration of trying to find something that you really need. In fact, I'm doing that with my own office that I have at home. We're working on in fact, I'm getting a new desk, and I'm looking forward to putting the right files in there,
I don't think that I was aware of what was actually here. I don't think anybody is aware of what's actually here until they come. And one time I remember Billy and the lady I worked for at the time shut the door of the vault when I was in there, and it was dark. And I could feel all these hundreds of people from all those years back. And I think you need to be in this building to feel that history.